I decided today that I want to get in on the fun. I want a piece of the cake. I see everybody else doing free agency predictions, so I say, you know what, for the first time ever, let me do my free agent predictions. I'm only going to do the top 10, in my opinion, the top 10 free agents. This is a top heavy class for the most part, and kind of dwindles down towards the end. You have a number of guys you can make the case for to be in the top 10. We're going to go from 10 to number 1. Leading us off at number 10, the top 10 free agent is going to be Jorge Soler. Jorge Soler is going to make this top 10. You know, the hitting class isn't the greatest hitting class you're ever going to see. There's a couple of big names, at least a couple of marquee players I think that can make an impact, but no superstar or a couple superstars that we've seen in the past. This free agency doesn't have it with the hitting position, but Jorge Soler is a guy that is 31 years old, a World Series champion, and so you know, he's a big bat, swings a lot, has a lot of pop, hit 36 home runs the past year. Where's Jorge Soler headed? To me, he screams an angel. He screams to me an Anaheim Angels player like nobody else. The guy's an angel, it just screams angel, and this guy screams like he's going to be an angel player to me. So I think Jorge Soler is going to be an Anaheim Angel in 2024. Coming in at number 9, Sonny Gray. The top pitchers this year across MLB, going to finish top 3 in the Cy Young for the American League. Sonny Gray had himself a pretty good years, had himself a pretty good career, bounced around from team to team, coming off a year with the Minnesota Twins. I think was there for a couple of years, right? I don't see him going back to Minnesota. The Twins said they're going to retreat their payroll. Whatever that means, they're going to take a payroll retreat. So that means, in other words, they're not going to sign Sonny Gray. They're not going to sign anybody of big nature. So Sonny Gray is going to be on the market, on the move, and where he's headed, to me, Sonny Gray is a central kind of guy, and he's made himself a living there in the Central Division, and he's going to stay put in the Central Division this time, signing with the Chicago Cubs. So I have Sonny Gray going to the Cubbies, who kind of fell short last year towards the end. Hiring Craig Counsell, they're going to try to make a big push here. Sonny Gray, they want to get a guy that's going to be a frontline starter for them. Sonny Gray could do just that. Coming in at number 8 is Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery was the guy that I really wanted the Dodgers to get during the trade deadline. Eventually was traded to the Texas Rangers, and eventually won a World Series with those Texas Rangers. And Jordan Montgomery pitched phenomenal down the stretch. I mean, just tuning into his ball games, I mean, he was really, really lights out when they needed him to be. He was just a staple in that rotation, and he could go 7 innings and hand it off to the big guys, in the back end of the Texas bullpen. So Jordan Montgomery was phenomenal for Texas this year. I don't see him leaving. I don't think he's leaving. I think he's going to stay in Texas. I think it's the perfect fit for him. And the Rangers is just overall a great match. And so I think Jordan Montgomery is going to re-sign with the Texas Rangers. In the 7 hole, I have Josh Hader. Josh Hader, one of the big names. The biggest name on the reliever market is Josh Hader. Josh Hader, a guy that I really like. I have liked his whole career. A really fun pitcher to watch. Most of his time with Milwaukee was traded at the deadline a couple years ago to San Diego. Had a playoff run there with them. Obviously fell short this year, but Hader still put up some great numbers. Still was lights out for the San Diego Padres in their bullpen. And so the Padres going through some tough times there. They're not going to retain Hader. And where is Josh Hader going? Well, I see Josh Hader going north of the border. I see him going to the Toronto Blue Jays. I think Josh Hader fits perfectly in that Blue Jays bullpen because the Blue Jays need some bullpen help. They need some bullpen help, in my opinion. I think Josh Hader will fill that void nicely. And so I see Josh Hader in the 6. Coming in at number 6 spot, Yoshinobu Yamamoto is coming over from Japan, 25 years of age, highly touted prospect out of Japan. With these guys coming over from overseas, some of them hit, some of them don't. Some of them make it, some of them don't. But Senga last year signed with the Mets, had a good year for the Mets this year, Rookie of the Year candidate. So Senga was a hit this year. Yamamoto is supposed to be the real deal, like one of the best pitchers or players we've seen from Japan since Ohtani, if that's even fathomable. So where is Yamamoto going? Similar to Senga, I see him going to New York, but this time in the other pinstripes, he's going to be in the Bronx. He's going to be in the Bronx. I think Yamamoto is going to be a New York Yankee. The Yankees, they gave a lot of money to Rodon last year, and that kind of bit them, right? Rodon did not do good this year. Maybe a clean slate next year. He rebounds. I think Yamamoto with the Yankees is going to be a fit. We get to number 5. We got Matt Chapman of the Toronto Blue Jays. Matt Chapman, formerly the Oakland Athletics, got traded to the Blue Jays couple years back at the deadline, I believe, and kind of did not live up to the hype in Toronto. Whatever it was, wasn't comfortable in Canada. I don't know what it was, but he wasn't the same player with the Blue Jays, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So Matt Chapman is going to be looking to leave Canada ASAP. And where is he going? I think he's going back home. I think he's going back home. He lives in the desert. He lives in Arizona. I think the D-backs are going to need a third baseman. Depending on what they do with Jordan Lawler, I think Matt Chapman, you slot Matt Chapman right in there. I think that's a great fit for the Diamondbacks, and I see no reason why that should not work. Matt Chapman are just a perfect fit, and so I think he goes to Arizona. Then we get to number 4, we have Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola of the Philadelphia Phillies, a lifelong Philly, came up in the rebuild era, saw them sign Bryce Harper, and they made the playoffs. So, Aaron Nola has been a steady hand for the Philadelphia Phillies there for a long time, and I think the ship has sailed. He's ready for a change of scenery. Obviously they didn't work out there as far as winning in Philadelphia with the ring and all that. So I think he's going to want to take his career elsewhere and a new chapter in his baseball career. And where might that be? I think he's going to be a Dodger. I think Aaron Nola is primed to be a Los Angeles Dodger. I think he is the perfect fit for the Dodgers. I look at Aaron Nola and I see Dodger in him. I see the Dodger in him. I really do. I think Aaron Nola is a perfect fit for LA. And the Dodgers are going to need some pitching here. So, I think the Dodgers do get Aaron Nola in free agency. Coming in at number 3, you got Blake Snell. So Blake Snell won the Cy Young in Tampa. He didn't win the Cy Young in San Diego this year. I don't see him re-signing with the Padres, as I mentioned earlier, going bankrupt there. They need to move on from some pieces. So where is Blake Snell going to go? And as they say, follow where your heart goes, right? Follow your heart. Go with your heart. And his heart has always been in Seattle. He's from Seattle. It's his hometown, home state. Grew up a Mariners fan, and he doesn't hide it at all. He's always vocal about it whenever he gets a chance that, he grew up in Seattle and he's a Mariners fan. So I think he goes to the Mariners. I think Blake Snell goes home to the Mariners. Homecoming story there. So I think Blake Snell signs with the Seattle Mariners in free agency. Coming in at number 2, we got Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger, one of my favorite Dodgers of the past number of years. I think the Dodgers did him wrong by letting him go a year early in arbitration, non-tendering him and all that. Goes to the Cubbies, has a great year with Chicago. Now he's looking for a big payday. His agent is Scott Boras, so where is Bellinger going to sign with? Who is the team that's going to take on Belly for X number of years? Well, with a little curveball here. I think Cody Bellinger is going to sign with the Cincinnati Reds. I think the Reds showed last season they're on the come up. They're kind of ready to make that push, break their long playoff drought-ish sort of drought, make the postseason here, give Cincinnati a home game in the postseason. So I think Cody Bellinger is going to sign with the Cincinnati Reds. Kind of a shocking out of left field deal. A lot of ex-Dodgers go to the Reds, whether it was trades or whatnot, vice versa. So I think Cody Bellinger is going to sign with the Cincinnati Reds. I see Cody Bellinger in a Reds uniform. And finally, the one you've all been waiting for, the superstar Shohei Ohtani, the unicorn. Where is Shohei going to go? Well, if you've been getting hints watching this video, the team I did name, his ex-team, I said the Angels, Soler, so they're going to be missing Shohei's bats. They're going to get Soler and kind of recoup that power. He's not going to resign with Anaheim, but guess what? He's going to stay in California. He's going to stay in California, and he's going to sign with the San Francisco Giants. It pains me to say that. It really does pain me to say that as a Dodger fan. That's the last thing I want to see. I don't want to see Shohei up in the Bay Area slugging with the San Francisco Giants. I'd much rather him stay in California as a Dodger in LA. But I think he's going to go to the Giants. The Giants have just missed out on so many big-time free agents that I think this is their one. It's going to fall into their lap, and this is the one. Giants got Bob Melvin, got some stability there. The Giants have many pieces, but they got some young guys coming up. There is talent there in San Francisco. They could build this thing up really quickly here, and it can't get worse than the Angels if you're Shohei Ohtani. The Giants have shown the ability to win, and so I think Shohei Ohtani is going to go to the Giants. I hope I'm wrong, but at the end of the day, my pick and prediction for Shohei Ohtani is he will be a San Francisco Giant. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. Where do you see these guys going? Anybody, any other free agent you want to talk about, please sign off in the comment section. I'm always down to talk baseball there. With that being said, I will talk to you guys again in the next video.